Good morning, everyone. A good Erev Shabbos, and today we have a Bitachon message from Parshas Ha'azinu. In the beginning of the Parsha, it says the very famous pasuk, Hatzor Tamim Pa'aloi. Hatzor, the rock, is perfect Pa'aloi in his actions, in his work. Kichol Derachav Mishpat, all of his pathways are Mishpat, are justice. Kel Emuna V'ein Avil, he is a God of faithfulness. Ve'ein avil, without iniquity. Tzadik v'yashar hu, he is righteous and he is straight. That is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Rashi and the other Mefarshim explain over here on these words that the Rabbi Shalom, in all of his magnificence and his omniscience and his omnipotence and his greatness, it doesn't stop him from looking down here on this world and examining and seeing the deeds of every single person, and knowing how to measure for measure, either repay them for their mitzvahs or chalila, to give them consequences for the averis, for the sinful things that they do. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Hatzor, he is the rock, he is a stronghold. He doesn't move, he doesn't budge, he doesn't go anywhere. He is always there, Tamim, he is pure in his pa'ala, in his actions. You will not be able to find anything wrong in the ways of Hashem. As we say from Rabbi Akiva, called the Dovid Rachmana, L'tav Ovid, everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does, it's all for the good. Ki hakol bidei Shemaim chutz miyar Shemaim, everything is in the hands of Hashem. That means that there's nothing that a person will have in their life that is coming to them that's not supposed to be there. There's no situation and there's no person they're going to meet. There's no one that's going to aggravate them and drive them crazy. There's nothing that's going to be too challenging for them to overcome. Because if the Rabbi Shalom, who is the Tzor Tamim Pa'aloi, has brought this into a person's life, and Kol Dracha Mishpat, everything he does is justice, and he's a Kelamuna Vein Avil, he's a faithful God that has no iniquity, makes no mistakes. Tzadik v'yoshu, he is righteous and he is straight in everything that he does. You can rest assured, whatever is happening in your life is happening because HaKadosh Baruch Hu has picked all of the details in the scenario, in the events, in the situations that you are in. He has handpicked every single person that is in your life. That means your wife and your children and your family and your friends and your neighbors and the people down your block. He has chosen everything. The person you bumped into in the store and you knocked over their things and you have to come to apologize. And now every little detail that there is in a person's life is brought to us by the Tzor Tamim Pa'aloi, by that firm and that fastidious rock, who is solid and doesn't move and does everything with mishpat, with amuna, ein avil, tzadik v'yashar. And this, when a person begins to look at their life like this, and the mechazik in their bitachon, and they realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in fact, is so perfect and precise in what he does, and that he's brought everything into my life exactly the way that it is supposed to be, then a person has no tightness, they have no complaints against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They don't sit around and wallow in their misery and feel sorry for themselves. They begin to look at the picture that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is painting in their life, and they see how they can add their own color, and how they can add their own flavor, and they can add their own imagery and their own vision and their own mission that they're going to fulfill to the beautiful picture that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has drawn. Yes, sometimes that picture is difficult, and sometimes the situations are hard to go through, but it doesn't deny or take away from the fact that this is all part of the hashgacha, the way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world in his perfection, as the pasuk is saying over here. And I thought perhaps that is the reason why we have a custom at a cemetery. Number one, we say these words, Hatzor Tamim Pa'aloi, when the mourner is accepting the ways of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the judgment that Hashem has made with the passing of this beloved one that is being buried. There's a whole declaration that is said. It begins with these words, Hashem is the rock of purity, all of his ways are just. That's one thing that we say this. Why? Because it's mechazik us. It strengthens us to realize that even though a person is possibly going through a very painful loss in their life. Yet I believe with Amunah Shleima and Bitachon that HaKadosh Baruch Hu knew exactly what He was doing when this person was taken from the world and taken from me. But secondly, there's a custom that we have in the cemetery, that when you go to the cave or when you go to the grave, we take a rock and we put the rock on top of the tombstone. What's the reason that we do that? This is the custom universal throughout the world. I thought perhaps it's because of this verse over here. Since that Hatzur Tamim Pole HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the faithful rock, perfect in His work, so we take a rock and we put it on that tombstone, and we are pledging and we are aligning ourselves with the ruts and the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we are saying, Ribono Shel Olam, I realize that this person who is lying here to rest, who is no longer in this world, who was once vibrant with tremendous energy and did tremendous things in this world, but now they're not here. I have no doubt, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that when you took them at the right time, for the right reasons, and you are there in Shemaim together with the Neshama and the basking right now in the glory, and therefore I place the rock on the tombstone as a sign to myself and to others about the Emunah and the Bitachon that I have in the Ribono Shel Olam, that everything that He does, from the greatest simchas that a person will have in their life to the most tragic and difficult events, everything is Kel Emunah Vein Avil. Hashem makes no mistakes. Tzaddik v'yashar hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is righteous, and He is straight, and He is just in everything that He does. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos.